Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed our last video on the trade goods. I'm still excited about finally having that done. But today, now that we've got the trade goods done, we can get back to some other content. That was a lot of work. I've got something else I'm going to show you that was a lot of work before we get to the mission I have planned next for us. Some of you may remember the underwater base where we had our uranium farm set up. It's been expanded, and I thought I'd show you what it looks like. This base is basically in its final form now, but it's teal colored like the ocean. I think it's cool. And so past what I've shown already and on to other things. Over here we have a glass tube that will take us up to the purpose behind the tremendous amount of work that has gone into this base very recently. What we have here, nice little observation area, but more importantly, we have our exocraft pads here. Now, on our freighter, we have a exocraft materializer that lets us summon exocraft to anywhere in the system that freighter happens to be in, but in order to summon them, you have to have them. So I decided to make this base, this uranium farm base, be the base where I had the exocraft, and I've thought that for a long time and just finally got to doing it now that I wasn't spending quite so much time on so many other things, I should say. So up here we have a exocraft summoning station, which will let you summon exocraft anywhere in the system. I thought it'd be a nice little accessory for our parking area with our exocraft. We have here, organized in ascending order from smallest to largest, the various exocraft. This is the Nomad. It is a hovercraft, and it can go out on the water and on the land without falling into the water. This is the Pilgrim. It's basically a motorcycle. And then we have the Roamer, kind of an ATV, all-terrain vehicle. And then we have the Colossus. This guy's a big cargo hauler. Makes a good mining platform, actually. And then we have the Minotaur, who's gotten off of his position. And this is like powered armor. And we can even install an AI on it, and it'll follow us around and help us fight, which is kind of cool. I'll probably get to that sometime soon. And then, last but not least, of course, we have a landing pad for our spaceship. And unfortunately, the weather is not agreeing with us, but you can see here that I've built a road that goes to the land from the base. So we have this aquatic base, amphibious base, really, and then we've got our parking area and a road that heads to the land. We won't really need to use that road, but I thought it went conceptually with everything else. So here's a little flyby for what's down underwater. Yes, we have the Nautilus down here. That's the underwater vehicle. We've shown that before. I dyed all the vehicles red because red is what we are, and they've got little black bits there too. It works out pretty well. I tried making some more of it black than is currently, but the black dye channels look like a dark purple, not black, so they're pretty much all red. Anyway, so we've taken a look at some of this before from the outside, but we've got struts now, so our storage isn't just hanging off, floating in the water, as defies physics. And we've got a little foundation for this central hub area. And this one's on the ground, into the ground far enough that I didn't feel the need to do that same foundation strut. And then we got this glass tube with a watertight door. And then we're back to where we started. Something I want to call a little attention to before we leave is what the underside of this roadway looks like. So this kind of took a lot of time, which is why I want to show it. But we've got a little bit of an arch sort of brace, I guess, really more, that I have justifying the road not sinking into the water. And a wall here that supports it. I would have done something a little bit more creative and a little bit less monotonous, but I'm really limited by what the tool set, the Legos that they give us in the game are. And then, of course, underneath the presumably very heavy exocraft, there's been a series of supports there also, with the most dramatic support, of course, being under the landing pad because it's the biggest. A lot more to support there. And ship's pretty heavy too, I think. And so we have those same supports that are under the rest of the road here. Really wish we didn't have a radiation storm while we were doing this. Unfortunately, I can't help that. And then we have these smaller archways between the exocraft pads and the road. So everything seems like it should be able to stand up properly. And now that we're just about to leave, the storm clears up, but that's okay. Anyway, so all of these panels have been supported properly, or at least what appears to be properly, so that they won't just look like they should fall off into the water. And I put a border around the outside of the landing pad because that made it look better. But anyway, that's way more minutes than we should probably spend on that. We'll just head over here. Actually, I think we'll take that watertight door, glass walkway back in to our base. And then we'll head off to the location of the next mission that we're going to be doing. We've been talking a little bit about pirates and pirate systems, and there's a mission that's intended to be kind of a introduction to pirate stuff. We're already experts. But there's a little bit of lore, and there's a cool reward that I've been wanting to get for some time. So we're going to do that now. We just have to get out into space, follow up on what the game already tossed our way. I think we covered it in an episode a while back, but just in case we didn't, I'm going to pull up our log. No, not our log, our catalog. If I remember right. Journey records, under a rebel star. So this was the introduction to the mission. If you may recall, if we covered it on camera, while we were pulsing around in space, we ran across a derelict starship, and it was incidentally a solar starship, one of the ones that has the cool sails that pop out when it's cruising around a solar system. And this was the message that that ship was broadcasting on repeat as we encountered it. So I came across an abandoned starship floating endlessly through the starry void. Reject their lives. Follow us to freedom. The ship was broadcasting the same message over and over in endless loop. Its message had decayed over time, but there were still salvageable coordinates amidst the noise. Amidst the noise, is what it should say. And those coordinates were just over here. We have here signal echo coordinates we see at the end of the list. So we're going to cruise down there and see what there is to see. May have to pop into a second video to finish this off, but we'll see. This one isn't particularly a long series of missions, but there are a few things we have to do. First time we've been in the system, that's cool. Let's see what we can find here. I bet if we pulse, that we will get something. Let's just pulse toward this planet. Well, that planet's awfully close. That's too close. Didn't give it enough chance to catch up with us. A lot of things, if we go pulsing, interesting. It doesn't appear to be working. There's more than one way to handle this. All the coordinates to investigate. Okay, it finally showed up. Or maybe it was always there and I didn't notice. I hope that's not the case. Pretty sure we were pointed over that direction before, but maybe not. Let's scan that planet while we're on our way. I thought that one looked a little weird. Fissured planet, so this is an anomalous planet, I think. We'll touch down here and see what's strange and interesting about this planet. Looks kind of dead down here. Oh, there's interesting lights and floating stones. Interesting. Take a little look. Alright, so it's off this direction. Look at that. Those are some crazy looking ball things. Those are fauna. Rather rare looking ones. You know, there's something we haven't covered. I'm just going to do it since we're here. Taming creatures. We will need some carbon to do that. So, we need to find out where we can get some carbon, actually. Alright, dust and sodium. Feldspar. We need something that has carbon. Something that has carbon. There's some carbon. That's not very much. See how much it gives us. 3. That's not good. Oh, that one's all carbon. Sweet. That's what we need. That should give us enough. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Alright. So, in order to tame a creature, we need carbon, or to make creature pellets. And then we just head over there and offer it food. And then it's like, whoa, it's now following me. And once you've fed it, you can harvest it for some sort of cooking ingredient. Fiendish roe we got from that, interesting. Or you can adopt it as a companion. Or you could do both. And now this thing will follow us around and we can pet it, we'll make it happy, and we can feed it, and now it's completely happy. And if it were a little bit bigger, or maybe a little bit smaller, that one's kind of big actually, we could ride it. You can see that there. And this one's anomalous, so we can't put things on it. But eventually, after we've had this pet for at least a day, then we can breed it, which who knows what's going to happen when we breed something strange like this. But you could do this with pretty much any animal. Anyway, that is not what we're here for. Forgive the diversion. There we go. Now we're headed back in the right direction again. Let's see, how are we doing? We've got time. It says it's right around here. Oh, that's probably it right there. Yep. This wrecked ship has something to do with what we're up to. I'm not sure I can resist the chance to salvage a ship. Let's see, man, it's only C rank. It's not worth that much. And I don't even have the stuff I need to build a save beacon, so let's just get to our business here. There's nothing here but the distress beacon of a crashed starship. There is no sign of life. Download the logs. I attempt to salvage what I can from the log of the crashed ship. Sifting through the diagnostic data, they appear to have been the victim of a sudden, overwhelming assault. Cover the cockpit recording. Among the endless data, countless warnings and errors triggered by the flames that consume the ship, and errors, there is a fragment of a recording, a window into the starship's final moments. And that's a lot of stuff that we don't understand, except for one word in Viking, it seems. Down. Going down, probably. Suddenly the voice changes. The muffled shouts of the pilot fade away, cut through by words that ring out in a clear and powerful tone. Resist the red. We shall cut out its crimson eye. The eye at the end of the message is accompanied by a clear navigational signal, a rendezvous point. But for who? Let's take the beacon and find out. Death to the Scarlet Tyrant. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have... That's better. Using my mining laser instead of my guns. Not what I'm going for. We appear to have attracted the attention of some kind of sentinels. Is that all of them? No, it says there's two more. Corrupted sentinels. The quest indicator is calling them. They don't... Okay, I was going to say, they don't seem to be very aggressive. They finally start shooting at me. How far away is our ship? Only 300 units. I'm going to claim this, if it lets me. Claim ship. We'll salvage it later. And then we just have to fly back to our own ship. Look at that cool... I don't even know what to call that. It looks like Aurora, but obviously it's far too low to be Aurora. There's our ship. This place looks so cool at night. How cool is this? I kind of want to build a base here, just because it looks so cool. Cool dust storm there. all these swirling streams of light. Very cool. That's why we play this game, for the interesting exotic things that show up. So cool. You know what? I think that's going to be the screenshot for the thumbnail for the video. Too cool. Alright. I think what we're going to have to do, is we're about out of time already, I think we're going to call that it for this first part of Under a Rebel Star. We got our foot in the door, and when next we come back, we'll see what this is all about. What is all this rebellion against the Crimson Tyrant about? Well, I hope you all enjoyed what I was able to share with you today. We'll be back again real soon. Until then, have a good one. Bye now.